Hey, my name is Leanne, and I'm fascinated with helping women navigate how to eat, move, and care for their bodies. This has taken me on a journey from vegan, keto, high protein to everything in between. I'm a small town holistic nutritionist turned 3-time international bestselling author turned functional medicine practitioner, offering telemedicine services around the globe to women looking to better their health and stop second-guessing themselves. I'm here to teach you how to wade through the wellness noise to get to the good stuff that'll help you achieve your goals. Whether you're seeking relief from chronic ailments, striving for peak performance, or simply eager to live a more vibrant life, this podcast is your go-to resource for actionable advice and inspiration. Together, we'll uncover the interconnectedness of nutrition, movement, sleep, stress management, and mindset, empowering you to make informed choices that support your unique health journey. Think of it as quality time with your bestie mixed with a little med school so you're empowered at your next doctor visit. Get ready to be challenged and encouraged while you learn about your body and how to care for it healthfully. Join me as we embrace vitality, reclaim our innate potential, and discover what it truly means to pursue healthfulness. Hello and welcome back to another episode. I'm so glad that we get to hang out today. I am digging this new format. It's a lot more work for me to just sit and chat with you for as long as I feel necessary to get my point across. Sometimes it's short, sometimes it's long, but I'm really loving this no guest thing. I hope you are too. If you hate it, let me know before you ditch out and never come back, because I am so thankful that I have a job where I get to do whatever I want. And that includes serving you in whatever capacity you ask me to. And so if you don't like it, tell me and we'll change it. But I won't know unless you tell me. So if you want to go to healthfulpursuit.com/contact and just let me know what you think of this format of no guests. If you are on Instagram, you can find me at Leanne Vogel, and on Facebook, Healthful Pursuit, which I figured out just recently how to answer my messages in there. And I haven't checked them since 2017. So that was a real great gift. I actually didn't know that you could message me on Facebook as my business. So I'm sorry to the thousands of humans that I will never get to, but I'm checking them now. So moving forward, as of I think it was April 7th, we figured that one out. I've been checking them every day. So that's what I love about this. And right now I'm loving the show, not having guests. In fact, as a podcaster, you receive hundreds of messages every week in your inbox. I don't know how they get my email. And then they reach out and they want to have so-and-so on the podcast and they think it would be a great fit. And they say they listen to the show, which they don't. Because if they did, they'd know not to reach out to me. And they say so-and-so would be a great fit for your guest. They talk about how to lose 20 pounds in 2 days. And I'm like, do you even listen to the show? You know, I'm not going to be game for that. And so I'm just so glad to be doing it like this. There are a lot of changes taking place on the show, in business, in life. I definitely sense that our podcast partners are going to be less and less. I'll just be honest with you. The conversion of the show hasn't been the best. And I think that's in part of when we renamed the show from the Keto Diet Podcast to Healthful Pursuit, we lost a lot of listeners. I don't regret those sorts of things. I knew it was the right call. I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, shoot, we never should have done that. No, I thought through it for almost a year before I made the change, and I'm very comfortable with the change. But I know that there are certain brand partners that won't be coming back because of the lower listeners and all of those things. So at this point, truly, I'm doing this because I enjoy doing it. Because as of this week, I am no longer getting paid at all to do the podcast. I am paying money for it. And I don't say that to garner attention or any of that. I love doing it. I want to do it. I enjoy it. It helps me flesh out the details that are in my mind, and getting them out in this sort of format is really helpful for me as a practitioner and as a human being, just trying to process the information that I'm taking in. And recently I had to take in a ton of information about collagen that I wasn't totally expecting to have to take in this way. We were hosting my parents. My husband, Kevin, was here for a couple of days while they were here. He went to work. And so I had my parents here with me, and we decided to go to Disney. They had never been before. We did a drive up Thursday, get to the park Friday, come home on Friday thing. So it was a lot of driving and I loved it. It was the most amazing, great memories. My dad rode Tron with me and it was wonderful. So we get back, it's like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I get a text message from a friend. And she said, "Hey, I'm so sorry to hear about Modere. I know you loved them so much. Let me know how I can support." I'm like, "What?" This was a text message at night on a Friday. I'm like, "What? What is she even talking about?" So I Googled Modere, and then I saw this reel that this person had posted that they went out of business. Then I went to modere.com and they were down, and it said that they were not coming back up, that they had gone out of business. And I'm like, "Pardon me, what?" Okay. So my first thought was, what am I going to do about collagen? Because BioCell is literally the only collagen I will ever take. And then the second thought was, oh man, what is everyone else going to do about collagen? And the third thought was, like I was about to get paid in 2 days, and am I going to get that money? Like just this, it was all of a sudden. So I jumped on Instagram and I made a reel and I was like, I have no idea what's going on. My first concern is people who have made orders, because they were in the middle of a promotion. So the people who had made orders, are they going to get the orders? What about the money situation, chargebacks, all that stuff? Like I was just so concerned about you guys. And then when that all got settled, I was like, okay, I need to spend a significant amount of time researching collagen, because there's going to be a mass exodus of, and I say this lightly, but I also want to be kind of straightforward in this. There's going to be a ton of people that are MLM people that will go to the next MLM and market the crap out of that MLM and deceive people in what they think is the best product, but it's just not. And so unfortunately, and I'm sad that it happened when it did, because my parents are older and I try to cherish every moment with them. It was really unfortunate that our last weekend, I was consumed by collagen research and trying to figure out what to recommend. I don't take this stuff lightly. And sometimes I know I need to act quickly. And other times I know it needs to be like a slow burn. For example, cat out of the bag. And by the time this episode goes live, it should be, I'm no longer supplementing with element electrolytes for multiple reasons. And perhaps we can get into that in a social media kind of format. But basically, I noticed in about, say like September, October timeframe, when I was in Azores, I started noticing that I was getting very bloated taking the electrolytes. And when I stopped, I wouldn't be bloated. And so I started chatting with some clients who were on it too. And I said, hey, like, are you willing to go off your electrolyte and try something else? And they were like, wow, yeah, I'm less bloated. And so I've kind of been playing around with electrolyte formulations and chatting with clients about it. And thankfully, whenever I mention something in social media, I have like 100 ladies reach out and be like, yeah, me, work with me. I want to understand. And so I always have a wonderful group of women of all walks and stages and places in life that are willing to kind of go on journeys with me and figure out what the best formulation is and how they respond. And so, yeah, I know that with some of these things, it's a slow burn. Like with the electrolytes, I knew, okay, I don't want to go public with this yet. I need to find a formulation that works. People won't be affected by staying on the element or whatever else. Like I just need some time to process this. But with the collagen, it was, I know how many people rely on this, and I know there is not a good collagen replacement, because when I found BioCell, I had been off collagen for quite some time. Now, when Vital Proteins became a company, I was one of their first affiliates. I loved that brand. I love what they stood for. And years later, after promoting them and doing a lot of work with them, I started questioning the validity of their statements when it came to the quality of their product. I was concerned about potential contamination of heavy metals. And when I brought that forward, we were no longer in a partnership together. And so when my parents were over here, actually, when we were trying to figure all this out after, having lost the whole collagen situation, I said, why did you guys have to raise me to be so honest? Because I knew that the easiest thing would be for me to just follow what everyone else is doing, find a powdered collagen and sell it, right? And make my, 50% commission and all that stuff. But I I'll never forget when I was following a blogger and she recommended this frozen fruit mix. And I went to the store without even reading the ingredients. I bought it. I made a smoothie with it. And the first ingredient was sugar. And I stopped following her immediately. And I never looked back. So I really always try to do the best thing for everyone. I know I missed the mark because I am not perfect. But when it came to the collagen, I knew it couldn't be a slow burn like finding an electrolyte. I knew that I couldn't just jump ship and find another, MLM product that would make me 50%. I had to be thoughtful in my research and ask a lot of questions of myself and what I had seen clinically and what I had seen work for my clients. And when these sort of changes, like these big changes, like, hey, Leanne, you no longer are promoting your favorite collagen. Like it was a big part of my business. I would say 70% of the work that I did, the income that I had, the resources that I worked on, the support that I provided was all to do with BioCell Collagen. Like it was a large part of what I did on a daily basis. I believed in the brand. I saw it firsthand. It grew my hair. My skin totally changed. Like I believed in this product. I didn't promote it because of money. I didn't promote it because it was this great opportunity to develop my future. None of that. I tried it. I loved it. I wanted it. I shared it. You guys resonated with it. And then it went away. So you might be wondering, like, why did it go away? What are the details of this? I have very little, and there's a lot of speculation. A lot of people are saying that they went bankrupt. I haven't been able to, at the time of this recording, find details about any sort of bankruptcy filings. What I do know is they were owned by an equity firm and the equity firm pulled the plug. For what reason? I don't know. But I do know that the BioCell patent was not owned by Modere. And so in the next 3 to 4 months, BioCell will be going to the original patent owner. In what capacity? I am not sure. But my intention with today's episode, and I know we're at 11 minutes in and I'm blah, blah, blahing, but I really wanted to set up the stage in that my intention with this episode is number one, when I set out to do the research, I didn't want to have any bias toward, okay, well, BioCell is the best, and now I have to find the second best. I was like, Leanne, maybe technology has changed and there's something better out there. I can tell you without a doubt that when you're looking for collagen, BioCell liquid collagen, with all the research that I did over a week of solid, seriously, 8 hours a day for 7 days, researching the heck out of collagen, BioCell liquid collagen still remains the best. So yay, my recommendation was solid. I stand by it. But then I started wondering, are we thinking too small? Like collagen is great. Collagen is essential, but are we thinking too small? And throughout today's episode, I want to prove a couple of things for you. And if you want to dig in deeper, I actually put together, I know it's going to sound crazy, a 19-page guide on this because I was like, this is too much information. I got to just put it all together. And it's free. You can go to mygrowinghair.com to download it. You just put in your email and then you can download the guide and follow along. I'm going to be touching on quite a lot inside the guide, but I'm going to be going through like more nuances and dialogue throughout because there's just so much more that I had to say that I couldn't put, like if I made it more than 19 pages, I felt like I would just lose everybody. So you've seen collagen everywhere. Marine collagen in your matcha, like bovine or beef collagen in your coffee. I went to the store recently and some of the words that they use when collagen is in the product is nutso. But most of the products out there are borderline scams. They're absolutely overpriced. They're overhyped. They're underwhelming. Like when I started doing the efficacy ratings, which is basically like, at what amount do you need to take a product in order for it to work? Okay. The efficacy of some of the goals that these products say that they need to do, you need to take like 4 times the amount of the product, of the serving. And so there's a specific collagen, for example, True Science by Life Advantage. It's $175 a month. And it doesn't even list how much collagen is in it. Like, really? Well, efficacy we know is like minimum 10 grams. And even when it comes to hydrolysate collagen, not ideal. So what are we paying $175 for? It's nuts. And so I've spent the last almost 20 years, I can't even believe I've been in the industry for 20 years. I don't feel old enough. I feel like I'm still 17. It's so mind-boggling, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. I've spent the last 20 years helping women navigate their wellness journeys, especially when it comes to feeling better. And collagen is something that continues to just blow my mind that we just throw money at it and don't ask questions. And I'm so tired of this. I want us to have answers. And at the end of the day, when it came right down to it, and I did all my research, I found that there is a rather new technology called bioactive collagen peptide, very similar to bioactive peptides, and that they basically restructure that's hydrolyzed collagen that's been clinically optimized to target specific tissues. So specific amino acids are structured and then adjusted for the goal. So like BioCell bioactive collagen peptide is specifically targeted for the skin. That's fabulous. And then the efficacy dose of it is only 2.5 grams per day. So the peptides are going to be smaller and more targeted than the regular hydrolysates. And that makes them far more bioavailable and targeted. So at the end of the day, when I was looking at everything, I'm like, absolutely the bioactive collagen peptide, without a doubt. And surprise, surprise, it's $35 a month. That is something that I can get behind. Now, is it better than BioCell? No. I'm going to be talking about like why and all of those details, but I think it's second best. And I've put together a program that I think is fabulous while we wait for BioCell to come back and even rejuvenate our cells in ways that we haven't before. So we're going to be talking about that in this episode as well. We're going to explore what collagen is, what makes it work, why most powders and liquids and liposomals are all the same things, or liposomals if you want to get technical, and how to approach the whole collagen supplementation situation to protect your wallet and your sanity. Because I remember being on Vital Proteins being like, this stuff ain't working. I noticed nothing. And then to also understand kind of what's going on with all the different types, because there's so many, and I will tell you 90% of them are all the same. So let's go through the collagen basics. So collagen is the most abundant protein in the human body, and collagen helps give our skin structure, supports joints, cushions organs, keeps our tissues elastic. As we age, our natural collagen production declines. And I think a large majority of that is oxidation for sure, due to sun exposure. We also have chronic stress, hormone shifts, gut issues. So we're going to get wrinkles, sagging skin, brittle nails, joint pain, thinning hair. So it only makes sense that collagen is everywhere. And the industry is absolutely booming. They're expecting it to surpass $22 billion by 2030. But not all collagen is created equal. In fact, most all of it is total trash. And what we're seeing on the shelves, whether it be, again, liquid, liposomal, powder, it's all the same thing. It's hydrolyzed collagen peptides from bovine or marine. That's it. Okay. It's just it's all the same. It's all the same. Now, these products usually contain type 1 or 3 collagen, which is great for skin and connective tissue, but they're really incomplete. So when we look at collagen 2, a common comment that I've been receiving lately is, I'm not going to take a collagen unless it has all the types of collagen. Like I want to see collagen type 2. And, I heard that there's collagen type 5 and 7 and 12, and I want all of them. I think right now we've discovered 28 forms of collagen, I want to say. But the most abundant form of collagen in our body, okay, so we might look at types 1 and 3 and all the things. There's 28 types, but the most common is type 1. It makes 90% of your body's collagen. So type 1 is densely packed and used to provide structure to your skin, your bones, your tendon, your ligaments. So if you're getting all wrapped up in, I want my collagen to have all the 28 types, you've lost the goal at hand. Now, I absolutely loved BioCell. It is absolutely kept intact with the hyaluronic acid and the chondroitin sulfate. And that matrix allows for the most natural uptake within the body. Okay, so when these hydrolysates are produced, the hyaluronic acid, the chondroitin sulfate, all of the extra components are stripped of the product, which then means in some cases, these companies will then add in the hyaluronic acid or add vitamin C or add, antioxidants to try to boost up the effectiveness of the collagen. But when we can, it's just, you're a whole food person. You know what the deal is. So when we eat a whole apple, we're getting all of the apple. We're getting the fiber and the sugar and the minerals and the vitamins. But if we're just drinking the juice, we're not getting the full bioavailability of that item. It's very much the same thing. And unfortunately, when I was going through the clinical data, a lot of these brands say like our collagen is the best because it increases, fibroblast activity. But it's like, well, all collagen does that. Like it's not exclusive to your collagen. That's what collagen does. So, okay, yeah, cool. And they'll say stuff like, we're bioactive, but they're just using those words. It's not actually a bioactive collagen. They're just saying it is because there's just no requirements about what they can or can't say. Collagen is made of amino acids, glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, sorry. So if your gut isn't working well, if your body's inflamed, or if you don't have the raw materials and cofactors needed to signal regeneration, you're not going to see results with this. And I did see this time and time and time again. Women would say, this is working, but this is not working. How do I find a collagen that's finally going to work? And for those people, I don't think that collagen is the answer. I think peptides are the answer. Bioactive peptides are the answer. We're going to be talking about that in a second. So with most of these collagen brands, we're drinking expensive protein powder. And many brands will include items like biotin, vitamin C, zinc, silica to boost like perceived value. But they're banking on you believing that the collagen is working when in reality, it's like the vitamin C or the hydration. Like in the case of hyaluronic acid, it will plump up the tissues. So you'll think that it's the collagen working, but it's actually the massive amount of HA that they're adding to it. Molecular weight is another issue. So absorption matters. When collagen peptides need to be broken down, like let's say they have a lower molecular weight around 1 to 2 kilodalton to be absorbed. And many commercial brands like don't disclose how big of a product they have. So let's pull up my guide here. I'm on page 15 if you want to follow along. Just go to mygrowinghair.com to get the download. And on page 15, I have compared BioCell Collagen to collagen hydrolysate, which is literally every other brand. Okay, so BioCell Collagen is type 2 hydrolyzed, and collagen hydrolysate is type 1 or 3, also hydrolyzed. But when we look at the molecular weight of the item, we need it to be around 1 to 2. Your collagen, like the collagen powder, anything outside of BioCell is going to have a molecular weight of 3. So it can't be absorbed well. And the dose for efficacy is going to be 10 grams. 10 grams. Okay. So in some products, like let's bring up one. I'm trying to think which one. There was a couple that were like, Daily You Liquid Collagen Shot by Unique. They provide 5 grams of marine collagen in their dose. Their dose is $110 a month. So you need to spend $220 a month to get 10 grams of marine collagen that has biotin and zinc in it. You're spending $220 on marine collagen that's had water added with biotin and zinc in it. This product should be $40. Okay, we have it in a bottle, so let's call it like 50 because it's bottles. But efficacy dose of marine and bovine collagen is 10 grams. So any collagen that provides less than 10 grams in a regular collagen hydrolysate is not going to be super effective. So, you start going in here and it's like most collagen powders are missing key ingredients, key science, key transparency, key all of it. All of it. So all collagen, a lot of brands I noticed as I was going through comparisons of like Spoiled Child and Life Advantage and Tranaut and Q Sciences and Olivida, doTERRA, they all say that they have science and it promotes fibroblast activity in vitro. Well, all of them do this. Like, okay, tell me something I don't. That is literally the point of collagen. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just very deceptive and it made me very angry. And then it had me question, okay, how do I best serve people? And how do I not even get into all of that? So let's compare the actual players featured in the guide and break down what's hype, what's helpful, and what's simply hydrolyzed and with a fancy label. And it's really unfortunate. So most brands that you'll see on social media are marketing first and science second. They offer a hydrolyzed collagen peptide, either type 1 or 3, with added vitamin C, added biotin, maybe added hyaluronic acid, but really zero clinical data. In fact, there was a product, let me pull it up, E27, no, that wasn't it. It was I34 True Follics Hair Growth Liquid by Spoiled Child. It's $89 a month, and it has collagen anagain. It's not even collagen. It's a pea-based protein with saw palmetto and biotin. So the only people that are going to respond well to this product is people that their DHT or testosterone is causing them to lose hair. Yeah, but it doesn't say anything on their website about this. Like that you will have to just, I guess, not figure out or figure out on your own after maybe your practitioner sees it and they're like, wait, like you don't have PCOS. We haven't tested you for DHT. Why are you taking this product? Be like, I don't know. Some influencer told me that it was a good idea. Like, no. And look, I'm not trying to say that I have it all figured out, but I do know for certain that most of these collagen brands are totally out for your money, and it's absolutely ridiculous. It makes me so angry that that's what I do. Like, because I can't keep it all inside. And I remember going to nutrition school 2007, and I didn't take it to teach. I didn't take it to know anything about this. I just wanted to take it because I had an eating disorder. I was really sick and I wanted to learn about food. And when I graduated, I was like, oh, dang, I know too much not to share this with people. I can't keep this all bottled up. And it changed my life. Like I remember driving to people's homes after work, and I got paid $20 to visit with them for an hour. And I would drive all over Calgary meeting with these people, just trying to educate them on nutrition. And this was 2007. Like the internet was kind of a thing, but it wasn't what it is today. And these women needed help. And I wasn't doing this out of money, but I remember breaking a hard-boiled egg. I packed it in my dinner. I was headed to my next appointment, and I was cracking a hard-boiled egg off the corner of my window. Like I rolled down my window as we did with the little handle thing. And I cracked my egg, and I'm eating my egg in my car. And I'm like, this has got to change. I can't keep up with this. We got to change this. But it's always been about wanting to provide details to the people that need it. And so we want to skip the overpriced brands of bovine or marine collagen mixed with vitamin C, biotin, hyaluronic acid. These are just glorified powders. Like you may as well just go for vital proteins and drink it with some orange juice at a fraction of the cost. So this is going to include brands like True Science, Daily U by Unique, Glow Advance by Tranaut, Q Reform by Q Sciences, the Glow Code by Multi Collagen Peptides, Liquid Collagen Supplement by Doublewood, E27 Extra Strength Liquid Collagen by Spoiled Child. There was a lot of people promoting the Spoiled Child brand, and there were a lot of questions. So the Spoiled Child brand is 10 grams of marine collagen, hyaluronic acid, zinc, biotin, and vitamin C. If I put this side by side by BioCell, 1,000,000,000% I would choose the BioCell. Like this isn't even a question. If you were concerned about wanting to make sure that you were having type 1 and 3 collagen in addition to the type 2 you got in BioCell, maybe get a marine collagen or bovine collagen powder and just add it to your coffee. But no, why would you take this? I wouldn't do that. So, I mean, I could go on forever, but I'm just blabbing. Many don't disclose the doses, which we talked about previously. Many don't say like this is how much product is in this. Like the True Sciences couldn't find any information about how much collagen was actually in the product that they're selling. And so that makes it really challenging to know how much you're taking and how much you're paying for and how much you need. We want to also avoid brands that aren't being transparent with their labeling. So they'll say stuff like proprietary blend and not share what's in the product at all. doTERRA was crazy with this. No mention of anything. Like, okay, yeah, maybe nobody knows how much of anything is in here. Q-Reform was also the same. True Science by Life Vantage was the same. And I-66 by Alivida. I don't know how to say that brand. Now, the Alivida is an interesting one. I really struggled with where to put this one. Ultimately, when I struggle with things like this, because I know that there were a lot of people that when BioCell stopped with Modere, they're going to go over to Olive Tree people. I think that's who makes this. And I struggled with it. But ultimately, the question I always ask myself is, if my mom were to ask me what she should do because she wants to grow her hair, her skin, her nails, she wants gorgeous glowing skin and flowing hair, would I recommend this product? No, I would not. The Alivida is interesting because I think they're so very close to having a phenomenal product. But the thing that affected me most when I was trying to make a decision on this product was that their bioactive collagen peptides, they don't say what they are. And in doing the research, what I found is that so the clinical data and the studies for bioactive collagen peptides, remember I said that these bioactive collagen peptides are the hydrolyzed collagen that's been clinically optimized to target specific tissues. So they have a bioactive collagen peptide that has a significant amount of research on skin, which is BioCell. They have one that's specifically for joints, which is Fortigel. Let me make sure that that's right. Fortigel. Yeah, for joints, et cetera, et cetera. So this is where the science is. This is where the clinical data is with these brands. So the peptides that are selected to specifically stimulate skin fibroblasts to produce more collagen and elastin with significant human studies to reduce wrinkles, improve elasticity, and boost skin moisture at a low efficacy dose at 2.5 grams per day. Peptides are going to be smaller and more targeted and all those good things. When it comes to the I-66, they don't say what this is. And I can just about guarantee you it's not BioCell. Otherwise, they would put that on the bottle because I'm pretty sure they'd have to. So they could list bioactive collagen peptides as, all the research in bioactive collagen peptides, but unless it's BioCell, those statements are not validated through actual clinical studies. And that's what I really struggled with. I love the hydroxyterosol that's in it at 6.2 milligrams. It looks like this product, and this is why I really struggle with it, because this product has a good amount of antioxidants in it, which when we think about aging spots and the oxidation that can happen in skin, that's why I loved the BioCell Life blend, because it's going to do the same thing with antioxidants, resveratrol, all those things. But at the end of the day, if we're not listing what the bioactive collagen peptide is, chances are it's not BioCell. Then chances are they don't have the clinical backing. And then, no, I'm not going to recommend that to my mom. I'm just not going to recommend that to my mom. So BioCell has been shown to prove results at 2.5 grams per day, improving the skin elasticity, the hydration, the wrinkle depth. So brands that include BioCell or mimic its structure, include the Sparkle Wellness Skin Boost Plus, which is actually BioCell, and the two brands that don't use BioCell are the Beauty Focus by New Skin and the Beauty Fountain by Olivida, whatever. Multiple people have told me how to say this. It's like how I say Modere, but it's Modere or Modere. Who knows? All these companies, it's just so hard to say their names properly. But I do understand the science, so stick with me, okay? You've heard of protein, you've heard of collagen, and even amino acids, But bioactive peptides, these are short amino acid chains that signal your cells to take action. They're not just nutritional building blocks, they're functional messengers. Make Wellness is pioneering a new class of oral plant-based bioactive peptides that influence everything from muscle growth to fat metabolism to brain health and inflammation. Unlike collagen peptides, which only provide raw material, bioactive precision peptides are encrypted in a protein matrix and designed to survive digestion, cross into the bloodstream, and communicate with your DNA. The result: faster muscle repair, better metabolic control, stronger resilience, and is perfect for women over 35, especially during perimenopause, post-illness recovery, or when workouts no longer deliver the same results. I like to think of it as, let's say you take vitamin C and your goal is that the vitamin C will support your immune function. But vitamin C does so much more than that. What if you could take a vitamin C that was structured in a way that would directly influence immune system with nothing else? It was a direct immune system function. This is what bioactive peptides are doing. They're amino structures that have been changed and adjusted for targeted results. I am so excited about bioactive peptides. And if you feel like you've been doing everything right and still feel like your body isn't responding, this may be your missing link. I personally take these products. I've loved the Focused to help with my ADD. I've enjoyed taking the Fit as a pre-workout to adjust body recomposition. I'm taking the Lean to help with insulin regulation and appetite as I cut down on my calories. I've been doing Hydrated instead of taking Element, which was getting me bloated. I've been doing Calm to help me chill down when I'm a little bit anxious and overwhelmed. It's a fabulous suite of products. You can go to healthfulpursuit.com/make or check out the link in the show notes to get all the details. So, how do we summarize Leanne's anger over collagen? I don't want you to be deceived by the collagen hydrolysate because they're all collagen hydrolysate. At the end of the day, I was not able to find a collagen hydrolysate that I felt good about recommending, period. We could put bioactive collagen peptides in the hydrolysate category because it's still type 1 or 3 hydrolyzed, but those amino acids have been restructured to target specific tissues. So I am all for bioactive collagen peptides, all for it. So the Skin Boost, I would recommend that. In fact, it's the one that I'm going to take personally until BioCell comes back, without a doubt. But then I started kind of delving deep into, okay, but like what's actually going on here? Why do we need collagen? Like what's going on to the body where collagen is needed? Why are we obsessed with collagen? Why do we need, so many antioxidants? What's going on in the body? And I started asking myself these questions. I mean, when I became a root cause practitioner in 2020, there's more to it than just the story of I need more XYZ. So let's talk about what I'm using now to answer this question and what's working better than collagen powders. After BioCell has been pulled from the market, we need a replacement. And instead of just substituting another collagen powder, let's look a little bit deeper. Like, how do we restore the entire cellular environment that makes the collagen, the elastin, the keratin? Why are we just supplementing with the thing? Why are we not making the thing? How do we support that by going forward? Now, I am a root cause practitioner that fully supports the proper diet in supporting all of your goals. If you're not eating substantial amounts of vitamin C and zinc and copper and sulfur compounds and antioxidants, you're not going to be able to build and maintain the collagen that you're even taking. Okay. So in the guide that I supply at mygrowinghair.com, I list off the foods that you should be incorporating into your diet, the collagen that I'm recommending, the cellular protocol that I'm recommending. It's all in there because I'm not going to get to all of it today. So mygrowinghair.com, and you can download it. It's free. Read through it, 19 pages. The science really kicks off in page like 12-ish. Okay. So here's what I'm doing now. Thank God. I was doing this back in September with some clients because I was starting to ask these questions, like, how do we get to the cellular function and start to coach up these cells? What's at play here? The whole conversation around electrolytes that I mentioned at the beginning was happening kind of at the same time. Like, what's going on here? What can we find that's better? And I started playing around with a brand that unfortunately got a lot of hype in the wrong way when it first came out. And there was like a lot of just I was just using it on clients, using it on myself, trying to figure out how these products work, learning more about bioactive peptides because I didn't entirely understand how they worked and how they fit in and how they, function in the body. This is where Make Wellness comes in. And I truly believe that God provides answers to problems that haven't happened yet. And when the BioCell situation happened, when my parents were visiting and Modere is no longer. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to find a collagen. And within a couple of hours, I'm like, no, Leanne, you need to develop the cellular protocol. Like you've been working on this. You've been working on this since September. You've had clients on this. You know what to do. And so, yes, I have a collagen replacement. It's linked up in the guide, but I encourage you to think deeper with me. Okay, so we're talking about oral bioactive peptides. These are encrypted inside plant-based matrices, selected via AI for their ability to trigger mTOR activation, improve mitochondrial ATP production, regulate inflammatory pathways like TNF-alpha. Like so many issues come from this inflammatory pathway. They optimize neurotransmitter function, all of which are essential for collagen, hair growth, skin repair, nail health. You see where I'm getting at? So the core stack that I was trialing with a group of ladies, and thank goodness for my ladies, anytime I share stuff, they're like, yeah, try it on me. Let's try it. Let's see what happens, was the Make Wellness Fit, Calm, and Hydrated. And the hydrated was interesting because I was concerned about the lack of sodium. Because I was concerned, as somebody who had been taking the element for quite some time, I was concerned that by switching up people from a high sodium content down to hydrated, which is far less sodium, it's a tenth of the amount, truly. Well, maybe let's call it like a sixth. But what I loved about the hydrated product, this is an electrolyte product that has a solar C mineral complex. So it's an ionic mineral complex. It also has glycine. It's rich in potassium more so than the element. And I saw far better results. No bloating, no gas, none of the maltodextrin situation. And so this stack of Calm, Fit, and Hydrated, I'll go into why and how and all those details. It's clinically driven peptide-based supplements that target the cellular regeneration from multiple angles: metabolism, stress, hydration. So instead of offering raw collagen peptides, Make uses bioactive precision peptides to signal your cells to rebuild what's been lost. So we're going root cause. We are going all the way down. We're going all the way down to the cells. And I love those cells. That's why I read blood chemistry for a living. I love this stuff. So Fit. This is the mitochondrial activator. The formula delivers precision peptides designed to increase our muscle protein synthesis. We've talked about this multiple times. It decreases muscle breakdown and tissue catabolism, which we see so often in women. It activates the S6 kinase, triggering collagen and keratin biosynthesis. And this is the key piece, I think, when it comes to the hair results we're seeing with this product. It increases NAD and supports over 100 enzymatic functions, many required for skin and hair regeneration. So you can see that just taking collagen, girl, up your game. So the clinical trials that we're seeing with these peptides show that Fit improves muscle mass, skin hydration, recovery rate, and mitochondrial function. Mitochondrial function is at the root of all imbalances that I see daily in my practice. So the increase in energy availability directly supports fibroblast function. You remember All collagen increases fibroblast function. When we upregulate the mitochondria, we're increasing fibroblast function. And protein remodeling in the dermis and follicular matrix, meaning the skin and the hair. Okay, so that's the fit. Okay, so there's a stack of 3 products: fit, calm, hydrated. Moving on to calm. This is a nervous system reset. So we're taking collagen, we're stressed out, we're maxed out. Stress shuts down collagen production, period. High cortisol blocks mTOR and depletes minerals faster than ever. And the minerals are required for skin and hair. And so we keep taking the collagen, with biotin, and we're taking it's not working. So Calm uses lemon balm, adaptogens, and sequences that reduce cortisol, lowering the cortisol to DHEA ratio. It enhances serotonin and dopamine balance. It increases GABA activity through the nervous system recovery, improves sleep quality, and reduces neuroinflammation. Neuroinflammation is going to affect our body's ability for hair regrowth and skin repair. Simple as that. How I use this product is anytime I know I'm going to be stressed, I'll take this before. And you just open up a packet, put it under your tongue. It's like a powder you put under your tongue, and you just, so good. 62% reduction in daily stress after 30 days. That's amazing. So good. And significant increases in DHEA, which I don't think I've ever done a lab on a client who's had a good amount of DHEA. Like, it's just the hormone that drops. And when it drops, we're unable to handle stress well. And the third item in the stack of cellular regeneration so that our body can properly function and build collagen has to do with electrolytes. Now, this is part of the transport. You can't build collagen or elastin if your cells are dehydrated. So like I said, this hydrated product has a very different balance of electrolytes than what we're used to with Element. At first, when I tried this, I was pretty nervous because I'm pretty electrolyte sensitive and I need a significant amount of electrolytes on a daily basis. I was worried with the balance of magnesium to sodium to potassium that this was going to throw me off. But I've actually required less packets of hydrated on a daily basis than I did with Element. Like, on a good day, I was taking 3 to 4 packets of Element a day and getting so bloated every time I drank it. I think in part that was due to the high sodium. Like, you do the math, 3 to 4 packets, that's 3,000 to 4,000 milligrams of sodium in a day. Whereas the hydrated is far higher in potassium. And in my experience, women are lacking in potassium. I have most clients that are cellular imbalanced when I'm working with them are supplementing with potassium either through bone broth or coconut water or now hydrated. And we're needing to get them up to like 2,000 milligrams of potassium a day to regulate their cells. And so this hydrated product is maintaining cellular fluid balance and enzymatic activity throughout the body, and it supports peptide delivery through intestinal transporters. When we don't have the proper balance of electrolytes throughout our body, we are not able to deliver those peptides to where they even need to be. And this is going to mimic human plasma for an enhanced uptake of everything. And also, when we have a proper balance of potassium to magnesium to sodium without blasting sodium, it promotes mitochondrial conductivity and electrolyte signaling. And it's interesting. When I suggest that one of my a client will come to me and I'll take a look at their labs, their thyroid will be dysfunctional, and we will go on a high dose potassium protocol with electrolytes and foods, bringing in the hydrated for that proper mineral complex, because they do have the mineral complex in there as well, which is just so much more of a natural uptake for the body. And the potassium is increased, their thyroid regulates. It's fantastic to see. When we have hydration at a cellular level, it enhances the efficacy of everything. You're not just drinking water. You're turning on the bioelectric and enzymatic engines of your tissues. So when we look through the clinical evidence and outcomes of the Make products, we see a 54% reduction in IL-6, which is an inflammatory marker, and IL-6 is registered with the HSCRP marker, 144% increase in muscle strength and recovery, a 60% improvement in skin hydration and elasticity, improved sleep, cognitive function, mitochondrial density. Girl, let me tell you, that Calm product, normally I can't handle ashwagandha. Like it really jazzes me up, but the mixture of the L-theanine with the GABA and the lemon balm, let me tell you, I am far able to handle stress. Like it's incredible. Like even my husband noticed when he came home the last shift, he was like, "You're so chill. What's up?" I'm like, "Man, life is good. Life is good." So why does this matter? Like, why wouldn't we just take a collagen and be done with it? Well, these systems, your mitochondria, your nervous system, your transport channels are the foundation for building healthy tissue. Your collagen, your keratin, your elastin, hyaluronic acid, your body knows how to make these things. It just needs the signal and the environment to do so. So the Fit, the Calm, the Hydrated, I've personally been using for a couple of months. I started around December and I started with clients around September, October. I always trial out things that I'm getting my clients to do to make sure that we're good to go, because I can feel all sorts of things. And I also know what they're going through. My clients who switch to this stack, especially those who didn't respond to powders, are seeing less hair shedding, new hair growth, especially around the temples and the crown, brighter skin, better texture, less inflammation, faster nail growth, less peeling. So you could see when I was sitting there trying to figure out, oh my gosh, what collagen am I even going to recommend now that BioCell's gone? It was sort of like, Leanne, no, like that's not where we need to go with this. Like you have the tools, you've been working on this for months. What would that be? Yeah, 7 months. Like you're ready. This is ready. So we're doing all of this without the powdered collagen, without the liposomal collagen and all the collagen stuff. Now, if you really, really want a collagen, all of this is outlined in the guide, mygrowinghair.com. Download the guide. The protocol is in there of what I'm doing. We're calling this the 4-week inside out reset. I'm going to be committing to it for 3 months. It includes all the products, discount codes, shampoo and conditioner based on your porosity of your hair, the foods that you want to check out, other practices like oils for your hair and all those things, all in the guide. The guide is totally free. 19 pages of all these details, mygrowinghair.com. So I really feel like this is where the industry is headed. This bioactive peptide stuff's going to blow up. It's going to blow up. So instead of taking collagen, we're beginning to understand how to turn on the body's own regenerative pathways. And I'm all for that. I'm all for the bioactive peptides. And at first I really didn't understand it, but understanding that these are sequences of amino acids that act like signals targeting pathways that restore structure, function, growth. It's unlike collagen powder. It's sourced from plants. It's encoded with information and it's protected through digestion and absorption. Aminos. It's crazy. And these peptides are developed with AI-driven databases that are screened for the most effective combinations to activate mTOR for tissue regeneration, to suppress TNF-alpha, to stimulate ATP and NAD for mitochondrial energy, to improve cognitive resilience and mood and enhance collagen production, not just supply it, but enhance it. Like this is going to be crazy. I am so excited to see where the world of bioactive peptides go. And the whole guide is dedicated to helping you understand what this looks like, how to do this. We have 3 to 4 months before BioCell comes back. And I'm really excited to trial this out on myself to see where this goes. Personally, I've already experienced this for a couple of months and I'm excited to take you along the ride with me. So if you've been using collagen and not seeing results, or if you're just looking for another way to upregulate your body, there was a question that I received recently, like, is it safe to upregulate when we're dealing with XYZ issue? Supporting the mitochondria is the gateway to all healing. If we can support the mitochondria and bring in specific minerals like that hydrated, that balance of the mineral complex, those two things, like potassium and mitochondrial function is the way to go. And by slowly working on these things, when the mitochondria are balanced symptoms of mold, parasites, Lyme, metal toxicity start to reduce because we are up leveling our body to the point where sometimes even it's so cool when I onboard a client, they have all these issues. We work on their mitochondria, their nervous system, their mineral balance. And it's like, oh, we don't even need to detox. Your body's got it. Like it's got it. Some people we do, like I would say it's a 50-50 thing, but when the mitochondrial functioning far better, the outcomes are way better. So if you want this guide and outline, I'm calling it the 4-week Inside Out Reset. I'm going to be committing to it for 3 months. It's the exact program that I've been following. It includes weekly check-ins and a detailed guide with product support. So once you download the guide at mygrowinghair.com, all you got to do is read it, soak it up. If you want to join me on this, I include my phone number in there that you can text me at. Please don't call. I won't answer. Just text me. Okay. And just tell me that you're in and I'll start sending you weekly check-ins. We're going to start here. Like we've already started. So you're going to join the group. I'm going to text you every Saturday and we're going to get going with this thing. And I'm excited to hear how your progress goes. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on this episode. If it's been helpful, the guide, lay it all on me. I love the feedback. So I've chatted your ear off. I'm going to go drink some tea and I will see you next week. Until then, I hope that this episode empowered you, encouraged you, maybe angered you a little bit with all the marketing garbly goop that people use. And stay curious. Stay curious. That's the best way that we can go about these things. Okay, I'll see you back here next week. Thanks for listening to the Healthful Pursuit Podcast. Join us next Tuesday for another episode of the show. If you're looking for free resources, there are a couple of places you can go. The first to my blog, healthfulpursuit.com, where you're going to find loads of recipes. The second is a free parasite protocol that I've put together for you that outlines symptoms, testing, and resources to determine whether or not you have a parasite, plus a full protocol to follow to eradicate them from your life if you need to. That's available at healthfulpursuit.com/parasites. And last but certainly not least, a full list of blood work markers to ask your doctor for so that you can get a full picture of your health. You can grab that free resource by going to healthfulpursuit.com/labs. The Healthful Pursuit Podcast, including show notes and links, provides information in respect to healthy living, recipes, nutrition, and diet, and is intended for informational purposes only. The information provided is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, nor is it to be construed as such. We cannot guarantee that the information provided on the Healthful Pursuit Podcast reflects the most up-to-date medical research. Information is provided without any representation or warranties of any kind. Please consult a qualified health practitioner with any questions you may have regarding your health and nutrition program.